Greetings, everyone. Today is July 26, 2023, Wednesday. Let us begin the day by offering a vow to our Heavenly Parents and our true parents. 천지 참부모님께 경배. 바로 let us recite 가정 맹세. 천일의 극주인 우리 가정은 잠살아를 춤싱하고 매일의 주책적 정산세계와 대상적 지산세계의 정의를 향해 정진적 발전을 적증화할 것을 맹세하나이다. Number 5. Our family, the owner of Chunoguk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. Thank you very much. And for our prayer this morning, may I ask Mrs. Hiroko Hiroi to offer our prayer?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
사랑하시는 하나님, 전진참 부모님, 예수님, 교주님, 헌진님, 안녕하십니까? Today, you gave each one of us a new day to start again. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Our true mother, now to be 80 years old. Usually people 80 years old already retired and they enjoy their own life. But true mother, such a small shoulder, she has been carrying all burden of heavenly providence. Just our mother loved true father, and she was born as a only begotten son on this world. That's why she has endured all burdens and difficulties, hardship. But mother, without any help, she can't complete this holy task. We knew through our human history, always God needs us. God's responsibility and our responsibility, and complete our heavenly providence. How much our mother has been so lonely without father. Our true mother is the most loneliest person in this world. Please let us carry even small portion of responsibility, and we will finally get total victory, every parent. Today, we gather together as brothers and sisters. We deeply connected with each other. We also feel sometimes very lonely because of mother has been feeling lonely for a long time. But this opportunity, we connected with each other, brothers and sisters, and we feel, let's do it together. Togetherism, Dr. Young told us. New Jersey Christian Church had initiative to lead this meeting, especially young generation, led us. We are so grateful with that. Please let us have a new determination to start brand new days. And we appreciate this opportunity from the bottom of my heart. Thank you again, every parent and two parents. I'm offering this report, Takahiro and Hiroko Hiroi as a breast center family. Achu.
Thank you, Hiroko-san, for your beautiful prayer this morning. And now, brothers and sisters, let us take a deep inhale and reach for the sky. And exhale as you bring your arms down. Bring your arms forward, inhale. And open up your arms, exhale. Inhale to bring your arms forward. And exhale as you stretch out your back and push your back out. Awesome. Hold it there. Push it out. Okay, bring it back to the center. Back. All right, let's shake off our neck. Let us rotate our neck to one side. All right, and rotate to the other way. Switch. Awesome. And then let us just do a little more with the neck. Here we go. Press down a little bit. Add a little pressure with your hands from above. Okay, other way. Add a little pressure once again with your hand. Just a little bit. There we go. Slight pressure. You're not hurting your neck, okay? Just gonna stretch a little bit. Awesome. All right, let's stretch out our sides. Go to the right. Bonus if you can crack your back. Get those air bubbles out. And switch. Go the other way. Exhale. Okay. Now shake out your shoulders and your hands. All right. And now I'm going to count to 10 seconds. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. And during that time, please stretch what you feel your body is needing the most. Maybe it's your hips, it's your legs, your arms, your sides. Maybe it's your neck again. All right, counting down from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back. Awesome. Thank you, brothers and sisters. And now let us go into our breakout rooms and share what we are grateful for today. Welcome back, everyone. This morning, I would like to invite up a wonderful couple to share with us, Mr. and Mrs. Berlin, Mr. Greg and Keiko-san. If you're able to unmute.
Thank you, Sunmi. Good morning.
Right.
Well, I was able to attend the Tuesday morning meeting with her friend Dunkley yesterday, and they had these wonderful testimonies about the Shim one in Chicago and Atlanta. People are really being moved by the Spirit and feeling the Spirit. And one testimony that really struck me, I think it was in Atlanta, that guest so now I see what's different about your church after attending the Shim one. And I think also they had a spiritual experience. So Reverend Dunkley's comment, it says, no, you guys don't want to listen to me and I don't want to talk. Let's just have testimonies at this weekly meeting about what's happening at the Shim one. I want to hear more testimonies. So that inspired me to look into here in Bridgeport where we can find a place for the Shim one, so we can call on the spirit world to help us as well. Yeah, it was, I'm sure this will be coming out more and more. So I'm grateful that I was able to hear those testimonies.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Berlin. And Keiko-san?
I joined the church because really understood all the things, all the questions of life were resolved, and then really made it so clear. And so about the spiritual, I'm not, I'm not, I don't have any spiritually see or things. I'm more intuitional person. We know what God wants me to, so I try to do that. But so as we aged, over 70, and then so we realized actually we have to go to spiritual world sometime soon. I mean, maybe, I don't know. So I'm reading all the Dr. Lee's books and read it again, and I like to hear more testimony too. Like I had somebody who can see really spirit go out, from Cheon session and things. And one question I have is, what happened to those evil spirits? You say evil spirit, but somehow related to me, right? So might be a relative, or I don't know. So those spirits, ancestors can go to training and then educated, and then go to become absolutely good spirit, and that's wonderful. And how about those evil spirits? Once they come out, if they are not going to the right place, then they probably come back again. So I don't know if anybody know about it. I like to understand. Yeah, but thank you.
Thank you, Keiko-san. I love this morning sharing. It's the gratitudes and any questions or things we want clarity in, that we encourage everyone else to do so. And if anyone would like to share your insight on it as well, you can feel free to say what happens to evil spirits in the chat box. Yes. I know years ago they used to have like a cartoon book on explanation on it. I don't know if they still have that. That's where I get my references from. But if there's anyone with Cheon experience, please let us know in the chat box below. Awesome. So now we will move on, and everyone, let us prepare our hearts and open up our minds once more to receive our mother's words through her memoir, Mother of Peace.
Welcome to Mother of Peace, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. A memoir by Hak Jahan Moon, a production of the Washington Times Global Media Group, narrated by Alison Hiroto. On June 7th, 2019, on the eve of the blessing, I visited the historic township of Soweto, Soweto is known throughout the world as the location of the first anti-apartheid uprisings in 1976, the home of global luminaries such as Nelson Mandela and Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Its people played an important role in the civil rights movement in South Africa. From 1948 until the 1990s, institutionalized racial segregation, known as apartheid, was enforced in South Africa. South Africa's minority white population dominated the nation's political, economic, and social institutions and actively discriminated against other races. The white government removed black people from their land, forced them to learn the Afrikaans language, and required them to have special permits to travel outside designated areas. They could not eat in the same restaurants or take the same buses as white people. Interracial marriage was illegal, and black people could not own land in white designated areas. In 1976, high school students in South Africa protested the forced introduction of Afrikaans as the official language through the Soweto uprising and many other protests that followed. Thousands of people were killed or injured during these uprisings, which became a major movement against apartheid. Archbishop Desmond Tutu and others denounced the law on learning Afrikaans, saying it forced children to learn the language of the oppressor. The sacrifice young students made during the protests are truly heartbreaking. Police opened fire on the students, and Hector Peterson, a 12-year-old student, was killed. The photo of Hector, carried by Mbuyisa Makubu and his sister Antoinette, weeping, transformed South Africa and shook the world. The day before the Blessing Festival, I visited the Hector Peterson Memorial in Soweto to pay my respects and offer a prayer for the victims of apartheid and all racial discrimination. I prayed to God, asking for the liberation of the black race from the painful history of racial discrimination, for the liberation of the students killed and deprived of their hopes and dreams, and for God's blessing on South Africa and Africa. I was particularly moved to see Antoinette, along with 400 youths from throughout South Africa, gather with me at the Hector Peterson Memorial at Prophet Radebe's invitation. The youth danced and sang beautiful songs of hope. I felt that these young people were my children. The events of June 2019 created the momentum upon which Prophet Radebe would prepare a blessing ceremony for 100,000 couples in South Africa that December. Archbishop Johannes Ndanga of Zimbabwe is the chairman of the Apostolic Christian Council of Zimbabwe, ACCZ, the largest Christian council in Zimbabwe, with thousands of affiliated churches and millions of members. Dr. Yoon recognized Archbishop Ndanga as the third righteous man Father Moon had indicated in his dream. Archbishop Ndanga's relationship with our movement began when he came to Kenya to offer congratulatory remarks during an interfaith blessing ceremony. As he spoke, the heavens opened and he heard, "Don't just offer congratulatory remarks, receive the blessing as well." Archbishop Ndanga promptly received the blessing and joyfully came to participate in the 2017 Peace Starts With Me festival in Madison Square Garden. Archbishop Ndanga stated, "I recognized True Mother as the only begotten daughter through heaven's revelation. I am grateful to have received the blessing, and I am now sharing the gospel of true parents wherever I go. I hope that true parents' ideal world of peace can be realized." On the eve of the Madison Square Garden Festival, I invited the 3 Golden Key religious leaders to dine with me at our East Garden residence. There, Archbishop Ndanga said, "You are the true mother humankind has eagerly been waiting and longing for." The following day, he testified to other religious leaders about his encounter with me, saying, "True Mother is our true mother. I am her blessed son." Inspired by what he experienced in the U.S., Archbishop Ndonga returned to Zimbabwe, where he mobilized over 300 bishops from ACCZ and, together with FFWPU leaders, hosted a special Divine Principle workshop and blessing for them. With the support of the government of Zimbabwe, each of those bishops educated and blessed 210 couples. In all, more than 60,000 couples received the blessing. On November 11th, 2017, Archbishop Ndonga offered congratulatory remarks at the 80,000 Rally of Hope to support the peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula at the Sangam World Cup Stadium in Seoul. As he was preparing to go home, he received the news that Zimbabwe was caught up in political upheaval and a change of leadership in government. The political turmoil was severe, with riots in the street and unrest throughout the nation. Archbishop Ndonga was apprehensive about the situation. When he arrived in Harare, he saw several ministers being apprehended and taken away. Yet it was as if no one recognized him. He passed swiftly through the airport and arrived home safely. Amid the turmoil engulfing the nation, he was a prominent Christian leader. His life was certainly at risk. He firmly believes that I protected him from coming to harm, testifying, "It was True Mother's miracle." In 2018, I appointed Archbishop Ndonga to the position of Cheon Il-guk Special Envoy for Zimbabwe. He responded with determination, saying, "I will be a dutiful son who will testify throughout Zimbabwe and Africa to the true mother as the only begotten daughter of God. All people are God's children. God does not discriminate based on skin color. True parents have blessed Africa as heavenly Africa and prayed for its liberation from past afflictions. A new history is being written, one where African families are being reborn as true families through the blessing. This is initiating the change that will raise Africa to become the shining continent of hope for all humankind." Sao Tome and Principe, the model for national restoration. Following the inaugural Africa Summit held in January 2018, various nations throughout the African continent expressed a desire to host summits and blessings. After nearly 4 decades of mission work and on the foundation of the previous year's activities and World Summit 2019, the government of Sao Tome and Principe expressed a strong desire to host initiatives throughout the country, including a summit, a blessing festival, and a Youth and Students for Peace festival. I sent my representative to Sao Tome in the spring of 2019, and after he met the President, His Excellency Evaristo Carvalho, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Jorge Bom Jesus, and the President of the National Assembly, His Excellency Delfim Neves, a memorandum of understanding between UPF and the government of Sao Tome was signed. Hearing about Sao Tome's willingness to work together on several key initiatives, I was determined to bless it and lay the foundation for a heavenly nation there, and I announced that I would hold the 2019 Africa Summit and the Hyojung Family Blessing Festival in Sao Tome and Principe. This is a beautiful equatorial island nation in the Gulf of Guinea off the coast of Central Africa. It gained its independence from Portugal in 1975. After we had traveled for more than 40 hours, including 2 layovers, the government of Sao Tome offered an extraordinary welcome. Cabinet ministers welcomed me warmly at the airport, and the next day, His Excellency President Evaristo Carvalho welcomed me at the Presidential Palace for a private meeting. Following our cordial meeting, the Presidential Honor Guard escorted me to the National Assembly building to open the summit. More than 800 leaders from Sao Tome and throughout Africa were in attendance. The National Assembly had generously offered the use of its premises for the summit and blessing, and by 9 a.m., the main hall and surrounding overflow rooms were full. In addition to His Excellencies President Carvalho, Prime Minister Jorge Bom-Jesus, and President of the National Assembly, Delfim Neves, there were hundreds of parliamentarians, dozens of government ministers, hundreds of religious leaders and leaders of civil society, as well as several former heads of state from throughout Africa in attendance.
Thank you for listening to Godable. Visit motherofpeacebook.com to purchase the complete audiobook. Godable is made possible by listeners like you. To donate, visit godable.org. Thank you.
Thank you, True Mother, for your wonderful excerpt. And now, everyone, let us welcome Dr. Thomas Ward for his reflective remarks today.
Thank you very much, Sumi, and good morning to brothers and sisters. This may seem a little bit unusual, but you'll see I'm getting to a certain point. When we consider Adam's family, we find that in that family, we often think about Adam before the fall, and we think about Adam after the fall. But there's a third dimension of Adam that's very important for all of us. And that is the Adam's family that has indemnified the failure of Adam and Eve to the extent that somehow the circumstances are in place that Heavenly Parent can be able to send the Messiah. So we really have to be so appreciative to Abraham's family, because through that family, finally, this foundation was established so that God could really be able to begin providential work. Without that, nothing could happen. And so there's a great deal of love if we think about how God tried right away, immediately, through Cain and Abel, to somehow establish a condition whereby it would be possible to restore the relationship, for Cain to do what the archangel couldn't do, and somehow be able to go under the younger brother, so to speak, the younger creation in the case of the archangel versus Adam. And by doing that, then the mother could be restored, and then through the restored mother, the father could also be restored, and then the messianic couple could finally appear, through which we can finally have salvation through the true parents. So God tried very hard through Adam's family, we know, and it didn't work out. And God tried very hard, likewise, through Noah's family, and it didn't work out either. And Noah was a direct descendant of Adam. He was the great grandson of Adam. And so part of Adam's line, God was very connected to Noah and wanted him to succeed. And when somehow Noah's family could not succeed, then we know that this was passed on to Abraham. But when it was passed on to Abraham, things became so complex, because suddenly there were whole nations which had been established in the meantime. So therefore, it was not possible for God to be able to just send the Messiah after finally there was this reconciliation between Jacob and Esau, which set up the basis upon which Jacob's family, Isaac's family, and Abraham's families could finally be reconciled. There had to be a certain period of time to establish the foundation for a nation because of those circumstances. When True Father turned 60, people expected to have a big celebration for his 60th birthday, but True Father wasn't interested in that celebration. And the reason that he wasn't interested in that celebration was because we had no nation. We didn't have a genuine nation that God could be able to claim. And likewise, after the recent dedication in Korea with the Cheon. Likewise, True Mother, what she said at that time is, we need a nation. That's been the desperate search across history, is to somehow have a nation that can be able to welcome true parents. And that nation, we know 2,000 years ago, it wasn't Israel as it was. I mean, certainly Israel was prepared to receive the Messiah, but that Israel had to be transformed into a heavenly Israel, a Shin Israel, that somehow it would be possible for God to claim. And likewise, it's not America as America exists, but instead America has to be transformed into a Shin America. And the same is true likewise for Korea. The Korea that exists is not the Korea that has to come about, but it has to be a heavenly Korea. And at the center of that heavenly Korea, there has to be true parents. It's not a matter of saying, oh, we have to see a unified Korea, somehow North and South Korea come together. Centered on what? Korea has to be united, centered upon true parents. So the example that we see this morning, I think, is a beautiful example for all of us to reflect upon. Can you imagine how difficult it was for the president, the prime minister, and the president of the National Assembly of São Tomé e Príncipe, all three of these very key figures, and these are the very top positions in that nation, for all three of them, somehow because of the conditions established by True Mother, by heaven's providence, somehow they could all align and participate in this conference and participate in a blessing with True Mother. What an incredible thing. And based upon that, Mother could say that São Tomé e Príncipe really would serve as the foundation upon which a heavenly restored nation could be established, a nation that could be able to welcome true parents. So in this new era that we are living in this new chapter of this new book of history, as President Dunkley says, as this new book of history opens, we know where the goal is. We need to have a unified Korea which is centered upon True Mother. And I think that there's an amazing hint to us as we, through today's reading, about what the basis of that unified Korea is. It's not some political maneuvering. It's the blessing. Somehow it was possible for True Mother to declare that finally that through São Tomé e Príncipe, the basis was established for a heavenly nation centered upon a blessing that brought together the very top political leaders of that country. That's the key message, I think, that's here, the basis upon which what we need to do at this time has to be realized. The fundamental message is the blessing. That's the guidance upon which I believe it will be possible, as Mother suggests through today's lesson, that a heavenly nation can be restored, that finally the true heavenly Korea can be established. So anyway, those are my thoughts for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ward, for taking us all the way back to Adam and Eve, and then breaking it down for us to, how to historically restore and receive the Messiah, to the pointing out the exemplary restored nation of São Tomé and Príncipe, and how ultimately all these efforts lead to a heavenly restored Korea.
Thank you.
Thank you. And brothers and sisters, let us take those points as well as our mother's memoir and go off into the breakout rooms and share with one another. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful sharing with one another or with God. And so for our representative sharing this morning, I would like to call on the Keeley couple, or I guess Michael Keeley, to share.
Well, certainly, thank you. We're certainly grateful for the efforts you make and your wonderful team that's putting this on, continuing a very important tradition of Punduke in the morning. Dr. Yong shared with us. I'm grateful for the reflection this morning about Africa. Certainly True Mother's focus and her love for Africa has affected all of us, I think, and I hope made African brothers and sisters feel more welcome in our community. I think for a while it was a little bit challenging for African or African origin members to participate actively in our community. So True Mother's love for Africa and the important conditions she's made there are certainly important and moving for all of us. I'm particularly appreciative of Dr. Ward's analysis of the situation in Sao Tome, Principe and Sao Tome. He really helps us to understand what a victory that was when you had three important leaders of that country who welcomed True Mother so fully and participated in the blessing. I thought that was quite significant. We were in Africa, North Africa for some time, and then in Nigeria, which is just north of Principe and Sao Tome. Principe and Sao Tome is out in the ocean underneath in that bite of Africa, that curve. And we know the missionary who was there for many years and struggled and worked, and it was a very difficult situation for him. So it's lovely to see this fruit that he struggled for to come to fruition. At any rate, I'm really grateful for what True Mother has done in Africa, the liberation of spirits, and the gathering of key people. Dr. Yun's dream about the three key people and how they actually worked and contributed to the providence, I found quite meaningful. So thank you. And again, thank you to your team doing a wonderful job.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kiley. And a gratitude point from your significant other, if she would.
Well, I'm very grateful to be able to attend morning service in New Jersey. With Dr. Young, I attended for a while, but then I got very tired. But now I'm very inspired by your morning service. I get up every morning.
Wonderful.
And I'm grateful to all of you.
Wonderful. And we're so grateful to have you all the way from Albany. Thank you so much to the Kiley couple. Awesome. So for announcements, in addition to the usual, to invite someone, and how the Godible episode today was 62, and that the YouTube link is available on the Clifton Family Church YouTube channel. I just want to mention today we are able to celebrate the 300th Chonshimon Vigil Prayer from Las Vegas. So we encourage you to attend in person at your local Chonshimon. So in this area, Northeast area, we have Belvedere and Clifton Church. But if you're not able to attend in person, you can ask for a Zoom link from your local pastor. And that will be happening from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wonderful. And today is the 4th day out of the 40 days leading up to Father's 11th anniversary. Wonderful. And any of the additional link that Yasu usually sends with the live regarding live testimonies and offering song is available in the chat box as well. Great. And now I would like to switch gears to our main, event, the Cheon Vigil prayer. And for that, I would like to call on our Pastor Takino for the Cheon prayer.
Good morning. I believe that today's celebration is the 9 to 11, 2 hours. Okay. So today from Cheon prayer, I like to invite Tara.
Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, please join me in prayer. Good morning, God, our Heavenly Parent. We are gathered here on this beautiful Wednesday morning. God, we're so grateful just to be alive this morning, just to be here, gathering together to read True Mother's words. God, today we read about South Africa and all the work that True Parents have been putting into restoring the African continent. And God, we're so grateful for everything that our True Parents have done. God, the foundation that they've laid, the example that they've set for us. God, I hope that we can be the kinds of people that True Parents can feel proud of. God, I hope that we can be the kinds of people that you can claim as your sons and daughters, God. And I hope that we can live lives that are centered on you, God, and centered on our True Parents. And God, we're so grateful just to be alive on this morning. God, we're grateful for the fact that we have a home to wake up in, a family to come home to, food to eat today, God. So often I forget that there's so many people in this world who don't even have those things, God, who don't even have a home to sleep in, a bed to lay down in, a family to come home to. God, I hope that we can feel genuine gratitude and appreciation as we go throughout our day today and be reminded of all the amazing things, all the amazing blessings that you've given to us, God, that we might not recognize every day. So as we are finishing out our morning Handike, I hope that we can take True Mother's words with us, that we can hold them in our hearts as we go throughout our day. And I hope that we can live this day centered on you, God. I hope that we can feel your love, feel your guidance, feel your presence in our lives. And whatever we're doing throughout our day, whether we're working, spending time with our family, I hope that we can feel your presence and stay connected to you. Yeah, and many times our life of faith is constricted to just Sunday service. God, so many people in this world, they pray to you on Sunday and they forget about you every other day in the week. But I hope that today on this Wednesday, the middle of the week, that we're reminded of how loved we are, of how present you are in our lives, God. I hope that we can use this day to worship you just like any other day. So I offer this prayer in all of our names and in my name, Tara McMahon, God of Annie, and Terry McMahon, blessed Emily, and
June. Thank you, Tara, for your beautiful prayer. And now, brothers and sisters, let us unmute ourselves and offer unison prayer to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. 시작.
Holy Parents, pray your work in their prophets who work with you
Thank you,
and
True Mother, for
together.
your
family
parents,
say thank you, Father. Prayer your name. Thank you very much for this so grateful that
my mother, my
you, God, for
so grateful.
we can have your love
whatever we think, whatever we do, whatever conformity with your ideal, so that we work
Masters recommend
Going to church and to feel your birth and really listen to you, listen to your word, listen to your guidance. Never give up on the
for giving us a home.
Reminded Cheon bring together with them compassion and love. With that, I'll leave Nika can leading the gateway Dawn house here,
bring your spirit and your heart.
inspiration that we can explore SPF to be your child. Pray you working the conflict and
So you can have that heart to be your child. Every day we're more wish for that. We can light and body you have a total alignment. Thank you so much.
그리의 소른 토기 그대로 소른 토기 이 몫을 맞춰서 동일이 오나 이 겨울의 소리를 토기 이 나라 찾는데 동일이 없어 난 동일이 오나 짬뽕님 감사합니다. Thank you everyone for your prayers. Thank you everyone for attending today. And that concludes our Cheon prayer vigil morning session. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day and see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Sunmi. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
So what? You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you, Tara.
Hi, how are you?
Sunny, how are you?
Good to see you.
Hi, Peter.
Thank you, Mrs. Nishi.
Dr. Ward.
Thank you, Mrs. Bean. Thank you, Yasu.
Your reflection was so insightful, Dr. Ward. So amazing.
Dr. Ward,
My
Sunday sermon, the Abraham family.
everybody.
God
Dr.
bless.
Bush.
Thank you, Dr. Ward.
All right, closing out in 5 seconds. 5,
Hey, Barbara. Good to see you,
4,
Barbara.
3,
Thank you, Sunmi.
2,
Thank you, Sunmi. Thank you very much.
1,
Good morning.
0. See you at the Cheon visual today at 9 a.m. Bye, everyone.